5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, Get Well Soon family.
Happy Sunday.
This is your host, Tyler Kidd.
And your co-host, Angelina Mesa.
Angelina had a makeover today. She came in a little bit different.
Yeah, she got too much of a tan.
Just kidding. Angelina is very concussed right now from her birthday festivities. So we have Raph here today, who was going to be our guest on the show anyway. But now it's just two of us. And Angelina will be back next week. We miss you. Mwah, love you. Whether you're listening on Spotify, Pandora, any of our streaming platforms, or you're watching us here on YouTube, hello. Welcome to episode 3 of the Get Well Soon podcast. Are they really into you? And we have Raph here to kind of dig into the male brain so he can dig into the female brain. It gives a good little back and forth. Sorry, Matt, I'm putting my shoes on the couch. I forgot to put socks on today. Matt's my counselor. He's the sponsorship. Oh, because I have no socks in my Ugg slippers.
I mean that, but the shoes and the...
I know. They're clean.
Damn.
What is... This episode of the Get Well Soon podcast is brought to you from New Jersey Holistic Healing and Wellness. As somebody who personally comes here, and I've been coming here for over a year now, the resources they give you to completely change your life in a way that is natural and a way that lets you completely submerge yourself in what you're going through at all stages of your life and having the means to get through it, without just a prescription or without just numbing your brain down. But the amount of change that I've had in my life since coming here is just amazing. So as always, you can scan the QR code in between us. There's no shame in wanting just a little bit of extra help in your life. So since we have a guest on the show today, we are going to go through with a patient report, just a little breakdown of who our guest is. We have Raph Sanchez, and when asked what his personality and characteristics that he would describe himself as, he said introverted, goofy, driven, and motivated. Because he has his own business, and we will get into that because that is amazing. I'm 26 years old. The career that you have is your dream career, and you're an auto mechanic. And when asked what his biggest dream is, he said the American dream, in quotes, basically just stability, the house, the car, the wife, the kids, living a beautiful American dream life.
Don't forget the cars. I need the cars.
Sorry, the cars, and multiple. Emphasis on the S at the end of cars.
Absolutely.
Multiple. What's your dream car?
My dream car is the Dodge Ram TRX. It's a Hellcat pickup truck.
I have no idea what that means, but I will be Googling it after this. Sounds fancy.
It's not fancy. It's very
like a muscle car?
American muscle. People consider it ghetto now because they get stolen a lot. But it's a very expensive
So they're
truck.
not ghetto if they're getting stolen a lot. People just put the most randomest labels on things.
The internet.
The internet. Hello, internet. Do you want to give any little introductions? Talk about yourself a little bit. Where you're at in your life at 26?
Well, I am Raph, like she said, last name Sanchez. I'm 26. I run a mobile mechanic company. It originated in New Jersey, South Jersey to be exact. And we expanded to Pennsylvania. We started in Philly. Now we're moving all over Pennsylvania. And then we got to Delaware. Delaware, we're not too
But you got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
That's good.
Foot in the door. And now we are expanding to Texas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel like Texas, I always hear good things about when it comes to housing, business, stuff like that.
It's very, I don't want to say affordable, but it is reasonable pricing down there. It's going up, but get it while you can.
Everything's going up. We talked about that in episode 2, I believe. Just the cost of living is absolutely insane, but we're all trying our best here.
We sure are.
Well, that's good. I'm proud of you, and I'm happy too because me and Raph kind of grew up together. I would say high school moving forward.
Definitely high school.
And so to get to see you from how we all were in high school, just a bunch of rowdy freaking kids. Yeah, we'll use the word rowdy, and just now we're adults. You're expanding your business already. So, we mentioned statewide. You're already doing that. Yeah. That's really cool.
I'm pretty proud of you too, Tyler.
Thanks.
We came a long way. Trust me. We came a long way.
I don't want to say through the trenches because we had a good, nice, more so privileged life, but it felt like it really did.
Long story short, I came from Philadelphia to a whole different world.
I don't know how to explain where we grew up because it wasn't normal.
It wasn't normal.
But it wasn't the worst, or it wasn't the most dangerous or anything like that. It was just.
I don't think it was bad at all.
No, it was just you know what word I'll use? It was chaotic.
Very.
That's what we won't say the trenches. We won't say any of that. We grew up in a very chaotic, I feel environment. But me and Ange also said too, we're very like grateful for where we grew up because there's so many other places we could have grew up in, and like the towns and stuff like that, we had fun.
We did.
We had a lot of fun.
I think so.
It put like 10 years on me though. Like like 10 years of like on my life. Like I can't even drink like a normal human being. I can only drink wine.
Damn.
The Four Locos and the Mad Dogs.
Oh, see, I didn't do all that. I did all the smoking, so now that's what took a toll on me. I could only smoke like one blunt a day, if that.
No way.
Remember, we used to do rotations, like
Yes.
6 blunts and all that. I can't do that shit no more.
That's crazy. I feel like I would not expect you to say that to me.
I can't do it.
Because you used to be able to do it like nice.
All day.
I've never been able to really. I'm always been the one like taps out. I'm a little bit better now, but.
Oh, you smoke?
Oh, every day. It's the reason I'm not in jail. And please let out all the people in prison who are in there for life for like a dime of weed from the 90s and 80s. Don't worry, that's on my bucket list. Get well soon. We'll lawyer up. I'm serious. I want to get people out of jail. Before getting to this podcast, because we are going to be talking about relationships and not just intimate ones, but friendships and business, I wanted to debunk a word that we're really not going to be using in the way that maybe some of you do or society does. When we are talking about relationships, we are not talking about situationships. In my perspective, and I'm not speaking for Raf, but for this podcast, situationships are not actual relationships, and we'll get more into that, but I just want to state that so when you hear us talking about them, we are not talking about your situationship, and we will have a moment to actually discuss what a situationship, because that is I don't know who made that label, later in the episode. But just want to put that out there. So nobody's like listening to us talk about healthy relationships and it's like, oh yeah, me and my situationship are like that. Like we're not on the same level. And that's not to be offensive, but the Get Well Soon podcast is all about being authentic and very realistic. I just want to put that out there before we start diving in. But to kind of get the conversations started, as two people who own our own business, I don't know about you, but it takes up 90% of my life, just making sure things run smoothly, doing new projects, elevating the business. Do you feel as though right now you have enough time and capacity to be in a serious relationship if you're not already?
No, I'm not already. But I do, since starting the company, I definitely see how I couldn't work a relationship and get started, and it was new to me. I didn't know how to manage my time properly.
Yeah.
And then I had to spend so much money to get going. So, relationships is all, look, you got to have some type of money. You don't got to be rich, but
you want to bring something to the table.
Something.
Stability you talked about. And
Yeah.
as much as we don't want to say everything's about money, finances bring a great deal of stability.
It does, sadly. Now that I am established, now that I got a system and everything is flowing my way, I could definitely get into a relationship if necessary.
Where it's even late, because I feel like that's something that's not taken in consideration is the amount of time it actually takes to build a sustainable relationship that, some people this isn't the goal, but for me, goal is marriage. So if I'm getting, especially at this age of 24, if I'm getting into a relationship, I don't have to know when we first start dating that like, oh my God, put a ring on it, I'm marrying you. But there has to be those characteristics or attributes to the relationship that point to, okay, this is somebody that as I get to know, I feel like this is someone I could spend like the rest of my life with. And that requires time, to the point that I saw this video recently of this couple that's been together for like 12 years. They know each other like the back of, like, it was insane. They did like a quiz where the other person wasn't in the room. So like one person would say like, my favorite color is this. And then the significant other would come in and say, she said her favorite color is that, and this is mine. And they did not get a single one wrong. And the girl was like, this is after 10 years of getting to know each other, we're finally at this point. So I just feel like, because I know right now with like everything that I'm doing, I've come to, I never want to say, because if obviously something comes my way and it's what I'm looking for and it's great, then I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I'm too busy, whatever. But I'm not actively seeking at all. I don't, because I'm very well aware that I don't have the time to put into somebody else because I'm putting all of my time into myself and my career.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So, and I don't, when someone's like, hey, can I take you out on a date? I respectfully really appreciate it. I'm really busy. Like, I'm not even going to waste your time.
How come you don't take the date, though? It's just, a couple hours, maybe an hour.
Because I've done that. Okay. So I've done that.
Okay.
And this is something we have later. I have a statistic. the men I've experienced, and this is not all men, this is not whatever, I just maybe have bad pickings or bad luck, get really offensive when I don't have the time that they're looking for. Because I've tried doing it where I'm busy and I whatever, and it's just like, you're not available enough, you're not, so I was like, okay, like I'm not even gonna be mad. Maybe I'm not available enough as you want, but I'm not gonna sacrifice what I'm doing to put more. I don't know. It might be a me problem.
No, I definitely dealt with that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be at that point. I think when, like, the podcast and everything's running more smoothly, like how where you're at right now, I feel like I'm still in that, like, kickstart phase.
Yeah.
I only started Get Well Soon less than a year ago. TikTok's getting banned, so I'm kind of in, like, a big transitional period.
I mean, that shit's still on our phones, so.
Oh, I'm going to run it.
This is a little fun. I don't know why, though.
I told you,
I don't know why it's fun.
because you're sitting down and having, like, an absolutely... Sorry,
It's
hold
like
on.
an unbiased conversation.
And it's a fully submerged conversation. We're not listening to anything other than me and you talking.
That's true.
And
Damn.
I think a lot of people
I just learned something today.
take this as a sign to have one submerged conversation this week with somebody that anybody, friends, family, yourself. I have a fun would you rather for you, but I have one more question before getting into that. So we talked about managing career and relationships. How do you think that reflects when it's career and friendships?
Career and friendship. So when I think of friendships compared to relationships, a relationship, you got to put that time and effort in. You and this person don't know each other, and the goal is to get to know each other. And y'all are going to go through obstacles that you won't go through with your friends.
100% true. I agree with that.
So I'll say friends got to be understanding if they are your friend. I get busy a lot. I have to cancel plans a lot. So, for example, expanding to Texas, I had to cancel a whole lot of stuff with my friends. My one friend, he got arrested and, he needed bond and all that stuff, and I couldn't do it. Because I had so much going on.
You had to put the business, first.
But me and him got like over a decade of friendship, and he understood. And he
That's
didn't hold
good.
it against me. We still got food when he got out and everything. I still took care of him and everything. So I think friendships is more about understanding and comprehending that, yeah, we're friends, but you got shit to do, I got shit to do.
There's more room for compromise,
Right.
I would say. I agree with that. I feel like I'm very grateful. I have a good support system with my friends. They absolutely love everything that I do. They understand when, we're trying to schedule things and they give 10 dates and I'm like, okay, well, I can only do 2 of those dates. I can't do any other ones.
Right.
Work around it. And also when they can't work around it and it's like, oh, well, we can't do those 2 days that you do. I'm like, you know what? I don't get angry. I understand because I'm the busy one or vice versa.
Right.
I feel like I have had friends, though, who are no longer my friends. So obviously that gets weeded out. But
We name dropping.
I'm not a name dropping. Maybe like code names, but I don't feel like there's any. You have to like be deserving to be name dropped. But I just and some of them like there's actually no hate towards it or no you just outgrow people. There are some people that you gotta like cut out of your life because they're draining. But
Absolutely.
people that just didn't understand the amount of time it takes to build, like, why are you always busy or you're always canceling or, like putting your career above everybody. And I think for me to have a career in social media too, it's kind of like it's getting taken more seriously now. But when I first started, like, it'd be like, oh, like you have to film for a couple hours, like what, for your TikToks? And it's like, okay, but I made a I wish I made a 5-figure income out of it. So like,
Yeah, this is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So a friend who loves you and understands you is going to be like, oh yeah, do your video real quick. That's cool.
100%. So I think, and I always say this, big universe girl, the universe does not play about me. It handles what I don't see or whatever. When you're starting something, say a business, or you're doing a change in your life, anybody that's not meant to align with that or doesn't, there's always that situation that happens that shows you that it can't. Sorry, my do not disturb is not off, and I was wondering why my thing's vibrating. But I turned it off to let you know when you were here.
On Do Not Disturb too.
Oh, mine does not leave do not disturb. I only turned it off so I could tell when you were here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't.
I feel special.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, you are special for that. Right. So before we dive into some more conversation about relationships and stuff, we're going to do our segment, Would You Rather? So I have a Would You Rather for you. I feel like it's a hard one, or like it's a good one. It makes you think for a second, but you might just pick right away.
Okay.
Would you rather have one significant other that genuinely supports you through all of your life experiences and challenges, but that's the only person that supports you, or the genuine support from a group of 10 friends, but no support from a significant other?
I'll say from experience, I'll take the support from the one significant other over the 10, because those 10 people got a bunch of other shit that they're going to worry about and put their priorities over yours.
No, but what if they genuinely support you?
Oh, genuinely?
Yeah, like both parties genuinely support you, but you either have the one significant other and no other support, or the support of 10 friends, but no significant other.
And as far as support, are we talking just life in general?
Yeah, like life, your experiences, career, like just everything. Like just genuine, full, 100% support.
That's a good one.
Thank you. I felt really proud when I came up with it.
That was a really good question. I'm going to go for, I'll take the 10 friends. And I'll say the 10 friends because 10 genuine friends is kind of what got my business going. Like, you know, and sorry to bring it back to business. But
No, you bring it wherever you...
yeah, so 10 genuine friends. Each friend you can look at as not an object, of course, but you look at them as like, all right, this one person is going to go and tell 10 other people about my company, and each one of them tell 10 people. There you go. That's 10 times 10. You got 100 fucking people.
Yeah, that's actually an actual statistic you just said that I learned in business school about networking. Like, I think like to a T, that's what it was. I would also pick the friends, and I like that Would You Rather, because I feel like people feel as though the support, and I'm trying to think how to word it, like that in order to feel fully supported in life, it has to come from a significant other, but you can find that genuine support in your friends. Okay. Like I've heard people who are like, I'm 26, I don't have a partner, like my life's like da-da-da, and they have 15 amazing friends who show out and show up. Well, you have everything you need. You don't need that partner. Yeah. They're I don't know. Obviously, everybody wants to be loved and everybody deserves to be loved, but you don't have to settle to meet some kind of like quota of feeling like, oh, well, everyone's in a relationship. As long as you have people who love you in your corner, you can do anything. Yep. And it could be just one friend too. It doesn't have to be 10. It could be also the one friend is yourself. Like, as long as you actually have yourself, you can do anything in the world.
That is true, because I did all that shit myself.
And I feel like there's more pride in doing it yourself than having other people like do stuff for you. Like, that's why I haven't hired like a team or anything. I don't even know how I'm going to be able to, because I'm low-key a control freak, only because I like doing everything myself.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm the same way. Like, I don't 100% trust hiring a mechanic and he's going to do it my way.
Do exactly the quality that you 100%. Exactly. And when your business is based off of your personal quality and performance, it's kind of scary to like let someone else have not power, but it is giving some power of your business away to somebody else.
Because they got the power to fuck it up.
That is very true. I love Ange though, because she's really helped with my fear of that. Like, she shows up and does everything. She had a concussion, but she came and set up like all the lights before I got here and stuff like that. But it can be really like nerve-wracking to expand on that kind of level. As always, comment down below what you would pick. Would you pick the one significant other and that's your only support, or would you pick to have 10 genuinely supportive friends but no significant other? We like to hear what your would you rather picks would be. We were really excited to have a male guest. You are our first podcast guest, and it's your first podcast like ever being on one, so I feel like this is like a really cool episode. This is cool. And it's exciting because this is obviously a female-ran podcast. So to be able to have a very intelligent male who I feel like has had a lot of life experiences that gives you the value of talking about things, I want to pick your brain. And you can pick my brain, but I'm excited to pick your brain.
I think you know I'm going to pick your brain.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to ask you, what are, and for the audiences, for the girls tuning in, or the girls and the guys, everybody above and below, what are signs that a man is interested in somebody, in a partner?
So, I will say number one, if we're going to go from social media to real life, social media, if that man is liking your shit back to back, he wants you. He not just liking your nice pictures. And then if it's in person, of course, obviously he's going to come and approach you.
And talk.
Like that, yeah. I'm not really an in-person approacher kind of person. I mean, if I'm interested, you might see it. But I'm not going to walk up, hey, man, how you doing? I feel like that's a little, like, space invading a little bit. Because I don't want nobody walking up and talking to me.
Like, you might give, like, little hints.
Yeah, like, I might stare at you. I might send you a drink. I might tell if I see you in a restaurant, I'll tell their waitress or waiter, like, oh, I'll pay their whole table or something like that.
I fuck with that.
Yeah, but I am not I'm going to walk up and see what's she about. I don't like that.
I got approached in the mall yesterday, actually, like that.
You liked it?
No, and I said I had a boyfriend.
Why would you lie?
I always lie.
Tell the truth.
No.
Why?
Because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
You're like, nah, bro, you ain't it.
No. I just said, I always say I have a boyfriend. And usually that gets them, but then, like, there's some people that's not enough.
That's true.
You know what I'm talking about? Where it's not enough. Like, oh, I'll do it better. I'm like, well, what was the point of me lying? Because it didn't even work anyway. Yeah. But I'm so glad it didn't say I was single, because then you really weren't going to leave me alone. But no, I was walking in the mall, and I was on my phone. But whenever I'm in, like, public settings, I'm always looking all around at the same time. And there's these 3 group of guys. They were handsome. The one that came up to me wasn't my type, and he also gave me kind of younger vibes. But I saw the one turn around, and I was like, did he just look at me? But I don't know, because it wasn't like a quick. It was like a turnaround. And then I watched the next one turn around and look at me, and then the next one turn around and look at me, and I'm like,
oh, yeah, you was the topic.
Yeah, I was like, and then, but like sometimes I'm like, maybe they're not looking at me. Maybe there's like something behind me. So I turned to leave the exit of the mall, and they kept going. And next thing you know, I'm getting a little, hey. And I turn, and it's one of them. And first thing he says, how old are you? I was like, damn, have you had trauma with age? Like, I've never first off the bat been asked.
But you see how approaching a woman can be a little, like, weird?
No, it can. And it can catch off, especially if you're, like, a woman who is, like, anxious or anything like that. Luckily for me, I'm kind of, like, I'm here, and I go with the flow, and nothing really, like, scares me. But I was like, oh, I'm 24, and he was like, and you want to know what another red flag to me was? What? I am 24 years old. Do not come up to me and say, can I get your gram?
Your gram. If you're asking for any social media, just chalk it up.
Just chalk it up.
Yeah.
Just ask for my number.
I've had females not approach me, I'll say. I've had a few females approach me before, but like DMs, as far as that, they'll be like, hey, do you have Snapchat?
Please, no Snapchat,
please. Like, wasn't we doing Snapchat in like fucking high school?
I only use Snapchat maybe to post like little BTS behind my life or like things like this. But I have that strictly for like my intimate friends that we like Snapchat little silly things and the memories. Strictly for the memories in my Snapchat.
Well, they removed my Snapchat. You know why, but my shit got canceled, and I just never thought like, let me make another Snapchat. Like I would never rebuild that platform.
No, so you don't have Snapchat?
Not at all, no.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
My Snapchat had everybody on it, so I was just like, all right, cool. If this ever gets removed, I'm not doing it again. My Instagram gets deleted, I'm not making another one.
Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I cleansed for the most part, my social medias, and it makes me feel so bad when someone's like, you've removed me off your Snapchat. And it's like, it's not hate. It's just there's certain things I need to see. And it's really business related or my actual day-to-day friends.
Right.
Other than that, and that's not on. Someone once said to me, like, oh, you think you're too cool now. That's not what it is. But, like, I don't need to be submerged in your life.
Right.
I don't talk to you. You slide up when I post pictures that, like, you're like, oh, tongue out emoji. Like, why do I don't need you added as a friend. I get the craziest freaking DMs, too. And,
I
like,
believe it.
And I'm just like, do you think I'm going to answer to that? And I don't, like, I like how you say that, like, if you're, like, liking somebody's whatever, but you go about it in a very mature way. Right. And now we're older, so, like, there are people who are, like, in high school. okay, you guys get each other's Snapchats. That's normal.
Yeah.
That's like the age. But once you start getting to like where it's like serious relationships, not that high school ones aren't, but now what would you say are signs that a man is not interested in a woman? Or, I'm sorry, what would you say are signs that a man is not interested in a significant other? I have to phrase it properly.
Like, not interested in wanting one, or he
Yeah,
has
like
one
like you like what are the signs that someone's just like from a man to another, I'm not interested in you? Because I feel like it's different between men and women when we're interested and not interested because
I mean, a lot of guys work it differently. Some guys, I mean, I guess I'll go from good to bad. A lot of guys will tell you. Mm-hmm. Then there's guys who will, I mean, give you the runaround because they're not sure, but they won't take from you. They'll probably be like, hey, you want to go get something to eat? All right, well, I'll see you another time.
yeah.
Like, it's no engagement. It's just, okay, we just got some food. You're a cool person. I like talking to you. Go about your day.
Okay.
And then there's the guys who will just, oh, you like me? I'm going to use you.
I mean, like, yeah.
I'm not interested in a relationship. The female kind of has to
We know.
figure that part
Every
out.
female knows. We know when we're being played. It's just a matter of how long are you going to be able to put yourself through denial.
Yeah.
100%. I believe that. Women. I do believe the scientific whatever that women are more emotional and men are more logical. Mm-hmm. So I feel like with women, like we do consense that, and I'm not speaking that men don't, but I do feel like I've heard stories through talking through guys and in my own experiences back then, where guys aren't so maybe prone to knowing right off the jump that they're being played, if that makes sense. Not all. So we're not talking about all women or all men, but
a lot of guys actually can't tell too. It's definitely a lot of times where the girl can play the game as well. Mm-hmm. Me, I can tell right off the bat.
Yeah.
A conversation like
You're like, oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
not gonna get
'cause
me.
Me being who I am, some people find this wrong, but I run tests every day. Like, not like a test where I'm testing, like I'm constantly making up scenarios or lying, trying to make up stuff to
Yeah.
get you to tell me the truth about anything. I'll just always test the loyalty.
Okay.
It's like, damn, I'm hungry. I want to see what she's gonna fucking do about that.
Damn, I'm really that just made me think about the fact that I had a realization recently that, and this is like from fear of past relationships, I'm very nonchalant. Like I could really be head over heels for you, but I'm so nonchalant about it.
I'm nonchalant too.
And I feel like I would fail every single test.
Probably. But
You know what I mean? Like that's something I'm working on.
But that's when you get to know who you're with.
Because I feel like somebody, say like running tests or whatever, I feel like somebody should put in the effort of getting to know me regardless. Do you know what I mean? To be like, oh, okay, she's a little nonchalant, but that doesn't mean she doesn't care. Like,
No. So I would say me being nonchalant, this is actually some good advice for people who deals with a nonchalant person. Nonchalant people care a lot, but they want you, if you want something, just say it. Like,
please just say it.
Don't sit there and be like, I want to see if he's going to do it. Like, no, if you know you have a nonchalant person, like you know it, say what you want. Oh, I want to go out to eat. Don't wait for this man. And, because if it's a man, he's going to work and go home and shit, eat, sleep, next day,
repeat. But so to summarize, you basically said it's effort versus no effort, but also the other person being aware of when they see the red flags and when they see the signs that someone's not truly committed to knowing them, and having the accountability to say, I might really, really like you, but you are not for me, and I'm just going to have to, step away from it.
A lot of people they grow attachment issues where you will have your way with that person a couple times, and then you're like, all right, this isn't for me. Mm-hmm. But you can't walk away. It's like an attachment thing, and I have this issue myself where I know I don't want this person, but I'm like, damn, what are they doing? Why are they not next to me?
Ew, if there's anybody, well, I don't really talk to anybody anymore. If there's anybody in my life who has ever felt that way towards me, don't ever talk to me ever again.
I feel the same way.
Like, do not.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Oh my God. But I believe that, and I 100% can see that, but that just made me rethink a couple of my relations.
My bad, y'all. If y'all had something with Tyler and I fucked it up, My bad.
They all fuck it up themselves. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, I do too. I have messed things up myself, but usually, not sometimes I'm the problem. I've gotten way better with that though. And speaking about myself or females and signs that we're interested and we're not. If a female's interested, she is, unless she has like a toxic mindset, she's playing games, but say it's like a genuine, we want to be around you. We want to be talking to you. We want to see you. We want to be like you see like a lot of females will say the joke of like, I want to be like in your skin.
In your skin.
Yeah. Yes. Like, and I think that's a real, like a feminine thing too, where you're with like, this is a kind of hard topic nowadays because I feel like using labels with like men and women and stuff like that. So just take this as what I'm saying, not by labeling or how I'm referencing it, but for a woman, we're feminine. We want that like masculine energy. So like, I want to be in your skin if I like you. If a woman's not trying to see you or she's not, talking to you a lot, you're sending her 6 text messages or you're DMing her 5,000 times on Instagram, she's most likely not interested. And the only exception I would say is like, and this is as a female who's had these issues, I've gotten kind of better of being like scared or stuff like that. But at the same time, that person has to want to overcome that and want to still see you and stuff like that. It's always situational. But yeah, if a female's not trying to be in your skin, it's probably a no-go.
Yeah, I take that the first time. Like, if I ever try anybody and I'm not getting that response, I'm just, okay, goodbye.
You kind of like, and even as a female to guys, like, I got ghosted for the first time this year. And it was, but it was so, like, it was okay for me because I kind of wasn't feeling it
What you
anyway.
think it was? What do you think it was about you?
There was I found out. I'm going to find out. I'm an investigator. He said the same thing I said. It just wasn't, there was no spark. Because we were talking for a couple months.
A couple months and then got ghosted.
Well, he was in the military.
Yeah, you're tripping.
You're
tripping.
A Marine.
Tripping.
Marine. It was my one and only military test run because my stepdad's military and he has told me from the jump, don't ever. And like, not necessarily like that, but you got to try everything once. And
a military girl, I'll tell you this much. As soon as she say, oh, I'm in the Army or active and I'm going here and there, gone, gang. You out of here.
You're out. Bye. Yeah. So the one thing I didn't respect, so from like the ghosting, it was fine. Like the experience with him taught me a lot about myself anyway. So like I took that from it. I silver lined it. And I didn't cry. Like the one thing I didn't respect though is we had a conversation about sugarcoating shit and how we'd rather someone just be so upfront. And I had initiated a conversation in person where I was like, I just feel like the interest really, like, I can kind of feel like maybe you're not so interested. And he like pretended he didn't know what I was talking about. And I didn't fuck with that because we could have had a conversation, whatever.
Right.
But I will say the entire time that I like went and saw him, paid for I did not pull my card out of my wallet. So for someone to not be interested or to not feel a spark and still be man enough to like, all right, but I'll take care of you while you're here still. Like,
some guys don't want to try hard. Like, if he got you, then he wants it to be 1, 2, 3. So,
yeah.
I mean, me personally, if I know you're interested, don't keep making it fucking hard.
Yeah.
But
I have a little fun, little chase in the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like a little chase is fun. Like, a lot of, like, women are different. Y'all want to make sure the man is interested.
For the most part, most of us. There are some people that need to make it a little bit harder. And that's not shade, but some, like, don't.
No. Put it on a shelf, shorty.
Yeah.
Put it on a shelf.
I don't know what that means, but put it on a shelf.
Put it on a shelf.
Shorty.
It means put it away.
Oh. Something you had said too, and I had said kind of... I can't believe I just exposed myself for that ghosting story. It's for the people. It's for the plot. It's fine. It happened. Like, it's okay. Yeah. Another tip of advice. We ended on the topic about putting it away. I would like to say, one, I really genuinely feel as though the less you give in the beginning, the more a partner or a man wants to get more, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like
100%.
you know what I'm saying, when you give everything all at once, there's no need for a chase.
And I'll say relationships are failing nowadays because of the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants everything right now. Like, me and you could get into a relationship right now. Let's say we're just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And you want everything right now. You want me to ball on you, vacation, this and that.
But there's no build up. There's no
build.
I saw some girl say in a group that I'm in, she was like, she feels as though when she first meets a guy, goes on a date, she has to put up. Otherwise, like, he's going to get angry. And I had commented, like, that is, and there was like 30 women saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's kind of sad that, not that we've been made to, but to feel as though on a societal level that you have to give in order to receive, necessarily in the sense of like giving that much of yourself to receive what you deserve.
So I'll say this, and this is more so advice for women, with a good guy, if you know he's a good guy.
Yes.
You don't have to put up. He'll always offer, but he will take into account you putting up. Like,
yeah,
he will always pay. He will always, if you have that kind of guy, he will always make sure you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But when you participate and put in, he appreciates it more because he feels as though, okay, she actually wants to do this. She's enjoying it. She's not just taking it.
Doing it just to do. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of fears with relationships. Like I said, everybody's traumatized. It just depends on what you do with traumas. You know, when you're younger, your first relationship, I think the reason that it's considered like your first love or like love of your life is you have no prior experience to have fears. So you go into it like full force. And usually it ends up being, you know, when you're younger, it might be toxic, but it ends up being a really like deeply kind of connected relationship. And I think that's because there was that allowance of having no fears, nothing holding back, things like that.
Right.
Do you have to answer that?
No.
You sure? It's okay if you do.
No,
but I wanted to talk about wants and needs. But once again, I forgot what I wanted to talk about. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
What?
We kind of talked about situationships. We kind of briefly touched about it. But I want to...
Oh, we didn't get into that.
We didn't get into it. Okay. And I want to get into that because for me, as a female who has been in situationships, I feel like something that's really I'm working on still now is not lowering. I don't lower my standards, but I will sacrifice my wants and needs if I think that it will benefit the longevity of something. So like when I love, if you get me, like I love when it comes to like friendships, whatever, I love, like the reason like social media works for me because you could comment on my video that you need help with something or like, I love you, like, and you're commenting and I genuinely will have love for you. It's not hard for me to love, but when it comes to intimate, it is. So if you get me, I'm a, like, I don't know what the term I'm thinking of, but like I love hard. Yeah, like I love hard and I am a little crazy, but like it's healthy crazy now, but like I don't play about the people that I love. Like, so if you get me to that point, and I have something that I'm going to read later on that kind of has to do with this, but I used to allow myself to get that deeply in love with somebody who didn't deserve it.
Right.
And you have to have boundaries within yourself to not, you don't necessarily like love is love. You're going to love whatever, but you have to be able to have the boundaries within yourself not to sacrifice your wants and needs based on how deep, you know, because I used to believe that, oh, well, if I love you this deep, like, then I just love you this deep and everything's fine. Like, I just got to like get through the bullshit. That's not how that works. So I've been in situationships. I mean, my last relationship, I think, like, relationship was during the pandemic for a couple of months. And then, like, I had that, like, on and off toxic relationship growing up. I'm like, am I forgetting somebody?
If you're forgetting, and they forgot.
And then, like childhood one, but, like, that's, like, literally kids. Those, we're not counting. Great experience, but we're not counting them. I was literally, like, middle school, you know? Yeah, no, but situationships are not a relationship because what a situationship is either one or two parties not wanting to commit. That's simply what it is. Because we talked about when a woman's interested and when a man's interested. If a woman wants a man, she wants to date. If a man wants a woman, he wants to date. And I'm talking about like genuinely wanting to be with somebody. So if you're with somebody that there's no label, he's not talking about labels, or when you bring it up, oh, I'm just working on myself right now or whatever, you are not in a relationship then.
No.
And there is no such thing actually as a situationship. You are just simply single. Yeah. You are just simply single. They are just simply single unless you have the boundaries. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, I wouldn't say like, oh, you have to put a label on it, because I hate labels, but you have to come to the consensus together that you guys are in relations and that you are in a full-on monogamous. Is that when it's only the two people?
Yeah, monogamy is just one.
Yeah,
one
like person, like
yeah.
So like and if you're into the multiple partners, that's a situation.
I'd feel like to each his own with that.
Yeah. We're talking about monogamous relationships.
Yeah.
To have a partner, if you and your partner have not had the conversation where it's, I want to be with you. Yeah, okay, I want to be with you too. Like, let's build a life together.
Right.
Then you guys are both simply single people fucking. Or
the sad truth, if y'all did not have that convo,
like,
yeah, I mean, some people do have the conversation,
and it's still, I've had the conversation with somebody and it kind of just jumps around the bush. That is still, you're single, I'm single.
Yeah, you gotta be able to identify, like, all right, this person's words is not matching their actions.
Please, hold on, mixing my ice. I'm big on words. I think words hold a lot of meaning, but the actions have to match and vice versa. You know, if you have a man or a woman or a partner that is giving you constant mixed signals and stuff like that, sure, there could be things going on in their life. Sure, there could be whatever. But at the end of the day, you are not in a stable relationship.
Not
and
at all.
You have to be aware that you might not ever be in that with that person if they're not, you know, showing you that they, I'm not saying 24/7, but you have to consistently be showing somebody through your actions and your words that, like, I want to build a life with you. So I feel like a lot of people get comfortable, especially our generation, in being in a situation where both parties are single and pretend they do little relationship things here and there. And they say, like, girls will be like, oh yeah. Like I said, I saw some girl say she was in a situationship for 6 years. Babe, you're single for 6 years. That's not...
Yeah, you just wasted 6 years of time, love.
Yeah. and a lot of women do that all without putting their foot down once. They kind of just, you know, you have that guy that's just like the running the circles, or vice versa, because girls do it too to guys, where a guy like wants a girl to be serious and she never is.
Well, here's the sad truth about situationships, and this is very blunt. If you're in one, you're probably not going to be after this unless you're... But sorry to say that word, unless you're a little bit slow. You are in a situationship, and this person, you're trying to lock in with a person, and it's just not working. There's more than one person.
Yeah.
There's cases where if this person communicates with you, all right, they can't lock in because they got such and such going on. And if you see that, cool, you got the evidence, you got the proof, you'll stick by that person.
Yeah.
But if you have a person you're constantly trying to make it work, y'all are arguing, fixing the argument, nothing's going nowhere, there's another person.
Yeah.
There's never we're just not, like, we're having sex, we're doing everything, dates and this and that, but why can't we lock it in?
Yeah.
That's because this person is jumping around. They're weighing their options out. And
Ew.
that's usually what a situationship is. When I hear someone say, yeah, I'm in a little situationship, usually when I hear that, I'm on a date with that female.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, situationship, you are just bouncing around.
You're having multiple relations.
Yeah. And that one person is the one person that you want to be public with. That's about it. That is so sad and nasty.
It is so, and it's so, it's like freaky because one thing I will say though, with all these things that we're talking about, and it's very realistic, do not allow bad people, bad relationships, bad love to put fear in your good love and your good relationships. Like, don't carry anxious thoughts or weight into something that's actually good. In a sense, like, we're talking about men or females that have multiple partners not even partners, multiple relations at once, and they're hopping around, and, you know, people taking advantage of other people. It happens, so that's why we're talking about it. But don't look at every single relationship you have as, oh my God, is he doing that? Oh my God, is she doing that?
Yeah.
don't worry about something that hasn't happened yet or that you don't have to worry about, because I promise you, if somebody is messing around behind your back or doing whatever, it's going to be shown to you one way or another.
It's going to come out. Nobody can hide that shit ever. Yep.
And if you're playing somebody, grow up. Just be a good person and don't play them.
If you're going to play the game, you're not really playing a game if you're lying. You're just being a liar. You got to just be honest with everybody, and if they fuck with you, they fuck with you. Most of the time, they will fuck with you. Be honest.
True. I mean, if a man's honest about the fact that he's running game, that's on the other person too, or even a woman. If anybody's saying like, okay, yeah, I'm running game, you're not the only one, and the other person's like, all right, well then that's just...
Get up and go get what you want.
You guys are in an open, fun free-for-all.
Yeah.
An open relationship. I would call that. I would say open relationship before I say situationship.
Just think of the hygiene in that, though.
It's disgusting. Before we do peek and pit, which I'll tell you what that is if you don't know what that is, I want to read off some little statistics that have to do with 2 submissions that we got in this week. So these are relationships. Okay. Swallow my spit. This is relationship statistics. Because nearly half of U.S. adults say dating has gotten harder for most people in the last 10 years, which I can agree with, but everybody says it's social media, and I do not agree with it, because social media is simply an object. It's what you put into it and how you orchestrate it. I think when people say that social media ruined dating, like, no, we ruined dating with social media, if you're going to say that, but I also think it's way deeper than that. So I'm going to read some stats that when I was researching about like relationships and stuff like that. These are from, I meant to write the source, but like a .org, whatever, edu. While single and looking men and women report equal levels of dissatisfaction with their dating lives and the ease of finding people to date, women are more likely to say they have had some particularly negative experiences. Most women who are currently single and looking to date, 65%, say they have experienced at least one of 6 harassing behaviors asked about in the survey from someone they were dating or had been on a date with, such as being touched in a way that made them uncomfortable or rumors being spread about their sexual history, which I thought is crazy for rumors to be one of the harassing, what do they word it as? 6 harassing behaviors. Apparently there's 6 top harassing behaviors for just in general with people, and one of them is rumors being spread about, not necessarily but just in general. So I thought that was kind of crazy, and that compares to 50% of men who are single and looking, which I also found out crazy because with the way we talk about the difference between men and women getting harassed or having inappropriate experiences, 50% to 65 is not that big of a difference, to where to me that says that men go through it just as much as women do, and I do believe that. I just think that men, it's like, oh, toughen up, or it's not believable that necessarily a man is going to get harassed by a woman or whatever.
Well, I'll be honest, like, there are some harassing females who I definitely won't name names, but they, you give the no and they don't stop, and of course I'm not the kind of guy you can just
bully.
You can't bully me. So they will,
like, I said no, that means no.
Yeah, and they will continuously, like,
that's crazy.
Go on the DM. They will follow females whose pictures I like. It would be crazy.
I'm no longer saying I'm crazy anymore. Y'all are crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, females, when they want
I'm passionate. That's what I'm going to say from now on.
Yeah,
I'm passionate.
Passionate, because crazy is a different meaning nowadays. Like, when a girl says, "Oh, I'm a little crazy," I take it as like, "Oh yeah, somebody's a little off.
Stalker.
Yeah, a little off. Yeah.
You should watch Baby Reindeer on Netflix. It will open your mind. It's a true story, and the guy playing it is the actual guy that it happened to. And it's about, like, I've never seen harassment on that level from a female to a guy. Oh my God, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, bad. Stalker's not the word.
No.
She took over his life. I'm not going to ruin it, though, because I mean... It might not be something you want to watch, but if you are interested in the topic of something like that, watch Baby Reindeer on Netflix. Viewer discretion is advised. It definitely has to be rated like TVMA, though, because it's very insane. So yeah, there was that statistic. And then women are also more likely to see risk, both physical and emotional, when it comes to dating. When those who say dating has become harder for most people in the last 10 years, they're asked to describe in their own words why they think this is the case, and women are twice as likely as men to cite increased risks. So when the women and men were asked, okay, well, what's the reason dating's harder? Men really didn't say like, oh, like women are scary, or, women they harass or whatever. It was the women that had that as a really big deciding factor in the fact that it's harder for them to date, which kind of makes me feel like, because I do believe that women do get harassed more than men. I don't think it's on a comparable where it's like, oh, I have it worse than you. I hate that mindset.
No.
I hate that mindset. Just because your shit is worse than someone else's doesn't mean that their shit doesn't suck.
Right.
I hate that mindset.
Right.
But for women, to me, what it says is that dating's getting scarier. I also think with the exposure of social media and the news, we hear about more cases. This is on my thing. Crime statistically, last time I checked, has actually decreased every year across well, not, I can't say globally now because there's some stuff happening, but in the States. But we are just exposed to it more, so we think that there's an increasement in crime and stuff. But it's actually less than the previous years. We just keep getting more exposed to it. Yeah. So I think women get more exposed. You have the Netflix crime documentaries. You have, people making story times, this happened, whatever, to where it puts more fear in women. And I think that's why they said, like, over the past 10 years. But I think that the risk and hazards of women being harassed by men or by a partner have been the same for...
I think I can probably...
You know what I mean by that?
I could give a good reason why dating may be scarier and harder. Scarier meaning, like, people don't really show you who they are until you get to know them.
Yeah, and we said earlier, like, that's not something you find out right away.
Yeah, and people put on fronts. They got their own hidden agenda.
There's a lot of lack of authenticity nowadays.
And then the only other scary part that is that doesn't cause harm is people will say social media is making dating harder because it's showing you all the options you have.
Oh.
But people don't really understand social media. Them girls aren't there on there, or them guys on there is not your options. Like, you might think, oh, this is my option because they're in your DM whole time. That person might have very terrible intentions for you over the person that you're dealing with.
That is true. So, grass is not greener on the other side. Grass is greener where you water it.
Exactly. And where it's watering you too. Yeah, feel me?
Don't be in a drought. How I said that men usually don't incite that risk is a factor for harder dating. They did say. Men said that technology is a bigger reason dating has gotten harder. Overall, 47% of Americans say dating is now harder than it was 10 years ago. 19% say it's easier, and 33% say it's about the same. So that kind of does tell you that, like, it's not because of social media necessarily, but we had somebody send in a question, and it was, do you think that people can still meet organically to date, like, without apps?
Yeah.
100%. I actually prefer that. I prefer to know you through family friend, through friends, meaning you just naturally out and about, whatever.
I feel like it's more genuine that way than social media, because social media, you're interested in that person. The first, what do you call that? First impression?
Yeah.
Your first impression of that person is, damn, they look good. Damn, I'd like to do such and such to this.
How are they carrying themselves?
Yeah.
And if I want to have a conversation and you have the facial expressions, the tone, stuff like that.
Right. And then I did have conversations with people on social media to where they're not solely about my looks. They'll be like, oh, I like how you posted this other post and you made sense. Or they will genuinely like how my mindset is. And that's the kind of people I will, like, talk to because...
Via social media.
Yeah.
Just going off of that statistic, those who are married, living with a partner, or in a committed romantic relationship say that they first met their spouse or partner through friends and family, 32% of them. 18% of them say they met through work. 17% said they met through school, and 12% say that they met their partner online. So out of all the people who are married, only 12% of them in a successful marriage met online. So that kind of tells me that meeting online maybe isn't the most success. Can you say the word?
successful
way of meeting your partner. So that's kind of crazy. So I do think, though, bouncing off that question that was asked, 100% you can meet a relationship organically. Just you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah,
And
approaching someone is a little more difficult, but once y'all get that conversation going, I think it's going.
you know. Well, I think that was a really good deep dive into
Was.
relationships.
This
And
was fun.
no, I am so glad that I was your first podcast experience.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm your first guest.
Yeah, no, that's
It's
just
been
dope.
great.
So something we do at the end of each podcast episode is peak and pit. You know what that is? So it can be today, this week, this month, whatever. You try to have it like kind of close to now. Your peak is a moment you've had recently that was like, okay, I love this, and then your pit is like a moment where I was like, I could have lived without this.
Like about the podcast?
It could be about your week. It could be about today. It could be about the podcast. It could be about your past weekend.
I'll say my peak. That's a good one too. That's a good question. I guess my peak. Does it no time frame or nothing? Just
No, but you can't say something from last year, but
oh, of course not. I'll say my peak is my company is definitely starting off at a higher monthly earnings than before.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
dope.
my peak. April's statement definitely shocked me.
Round of applause. I love that.
Shout out to Rass Auto Service.
Yeah.
But,
If you ever need anything done,
anything car related, truck related, you can definitely give me a call.
you have a website?
I do have a website.
I'm gonna link his website down in the bio if you're watching on YouTube, just so you guys have a little reference if your
Damn.
car decides to act up.
That was cap. I don't have a website, but I have Instagram, Facebook, a phone number.
Their websites. I'll link his Instagram.
There we go.
He'll get your shit right in shape. I've seen it. You work on some high profiling people's cars.
Yeah, I work on Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royce, you name it. I've touched
He's
it.
that guy.
Yeah,
He's the guy.
I don't like touching them, but if you have
Does it
one,
make you like nervous?
no, they're just very
Pain in the ass.
very pain in the ass cars. But I will always work on them.
There
if
you
you
go.
have one, I'll work on it.
Driven and motivated. So your peak is your business is growing to an amazing size, and
Yes.
you're in your financial stability as well, which is good because the more you put into a business, the more you want out of the business.
Yeah.
What would be your pit?
My pit, and it could be something random, general.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say my pit is I had a milkshake the other day.
Okay. What kind of milkshake?
It was a vanilla milkshake. It was
Okay.
really good. I'm not gonna say from where.
Okay. Oh.
And this milkshake, it turned a really good day into a fucked up one.
Why? I thought it was a good milkshake.
It was good as hell, but it didn't go with my day. I was working on a car. I was doing a lot that day, and that milkshake was letting me know
It wasn't sitting right.
it wasn't sitting right.
Damn.
That was the pit of my week because it lasted like 2 days of trying to get this milkshake the fuck on.
Oh, like it completely vibes were ruined.
It ruined my demeanor.
When's the next time you're gonna have a milkshake? Anytime soon?
Not in a long time. I'm not even a sweets kind of person.
Oh, so it was just like a one time. You're like, you know what? Let me get a little milkshake. Was it Mr. Softy?
No, it wasn't Mr. Softy. I love Mr. Softy.
I've been trying to catch him, and he's like avoiding me.
Yo, he's like
No,
hard to catch
I
nowadays.
saw him like going 45 miles per hour past my house. I was like, do I have to jump in front of you to get your
I think
attention?
Past your crib is 40 miles per hour, right? That's the
Yeah.
speed limit. Yeah.
So that's fine, but that's not the speed limit for Mr. Softy. Like, I'm not running 40 miles per hour for a strawberry popsicle.
Nah, I definitely feel that.
Like, and I'm not driving to the store like that. You know how there's like Mr. Softy stores? I'm not doing that. You're supposed to come to me. The whole point is like the little ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
No, your thing's not on, and you're literally zooming. My house just shook because of how fast you were going. I saw you for a blink of an eye.
You said, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I'm out. I really need him to. My peak.
Oh, yeah, let's hear yours. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I've been down bad. See, my thing is I'm at a point in my mindset where I can be down bad, and I'm not like down bad, but I am down bad a little bit.
You don't show that at all.
Because there's no. What does that do? Like, let me just get through it, you know.
Yeah.
My peak would be Okay, my peak is something that hasn't happened yet, but it's happening this week. Me and the girls are leaving for a Poconos 3-day trip for my friend Marissa's birthday, and it's we're doing painting, stuff like that, just very relaxing, intimate kind of environment. And I am so excited to have a moment's break of just business and stuff, and just to be with my group of friends and doing, not even drinking crazy or going out to bars and stuff, because I'm really not at that. I'm not really in the vibe for that, but just to be able to be in a Poconos house,
Tyler.
What?
Y'all going to drink.
Oh, no. We are going to drink. I already said the wine is coming. I will be drinking wine every day, 100%. That's my relaxation. But I mean, going to bars and stuff and clubbing.
Oh, bars and clubbing.
I can't even.
I
haven't really. I'm not a big clubber. I clubbed in Miami when I went, and I've gone to Philly clubs, but they're expensive. It's hot, and why are you bumping me? So it's never been my scene. But yeah, that was the Peak in the Pit, and this was episode 3. Are they really into you with Raph? You're probably thinking they're not, but listen, just to each is their own, situational.
Give it a shot. Run some tests.
But
Don't go testing people all stupid, though. Just, see what they do for you. See if they're into you. Do things for that person and see if they return.
If somebody is not giving you, if someone's not bringing to the table anything, first of all, just leave the table. But if they're not bringing what you're bringing, also leave the table. People are going to be who they want to be. You can help encourage people, whatever. We could talk about this conversation forever. We're actually going to cut it. We'll have a part 2. Maybe. We'll see what the people want. We will see you. Angelina will be back. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
I know
would like
she
to
said.
Come next time she's here.
Yeah, that'd be fun to have 3 people.
Soon. I know you need a bunch of other guests, but
he said I'm popular.
No, whenever that time comes and y'all want me to come back, I'm free.
All right.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next Sunday at 11 a.m. And like always, you can find all of our social medias linked through our Comey, little link in bio. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pandora, Amazon, all the above. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.